One of the most anticipated astronomical events is the Betelgeuse supernova, located on the famous shoulder of Orion. Betelgeuse is a red supergiant star nearing the conclusion of its life. Strangely, in 2019, Betelgeuse, one of the brightest stars in the sky, began to fade. The fading was so noticeable that it could be seen even without special optics. For a few months, Betelgeuse dimmed until observers began to wonder if the star had died. When scientists focused their most powerful telescopes on the red giant star, they were shocked to see evidence of the great dimming, even though the star's brightness had returned to normal after a few months. This star is about to blow up as its life cycle comes to an end. When and why might a supernova happen, and will it have disastrous consequences for Earth? Let's look into it. The brilliant ruby-red star Betelgeuse is located in the upper right shoulder of the winter constellation Orion the Hunter. You may know it better by its alternative name, Alpha Orionis, but it is the second brightest star in the constellation, directly behind the blue supergiant Rigel. Betelgeuse is an interesting target for astronomers to observe and study because of its variable behavior and peculiar name. Alpha stars are usually the brightest in their constellations, and this is true even though Rigel, Orion's other great star, is brighter. Due to its name, brightness, size, and reddish color, Betelgeuse, also known as Alpha Orionis, is one of the most famous stars in the sky. It is the 10th brightest star in the sky and the 7th brightest star visible from most of North America, Europe, and Canada. Betelgeuse's name comes from an Arabic word that means the armpit of the giant, which is a frequent interpretation of the name. Betelgeuse's actual distance from Earth is unknown, however, scientists believe it to be anywhere from 430 to 724 light-years. To put it simply, Betelgeuse is the brightest and closest red supergiant star to Earth. There are just about 200 red giant superstars known to exist in the Milky Way. Betelgeuse is 16 times the size of the Sun, emits 126,000 times as much light, and is visible from a distance of 548 light-years. It is cooler than the Sun, with a surface temperature of 3,600 Kelvin. Around Betelgeuse, just about 13% of its total radiant energy is made up of visible light. Betelgeuse would be more luminous than Sirius if we could perceive light at all wavelengths. It is estimated that Betelgeuse is around 764 times the Sun's radius in diameter. If this star were to take over as the Sun of our solar system, its influence would extend past Jupiter and the asteroid belt. This would result in the complete engulfment of Earth, Mars, Mercury, and Venus. Betelgeuse, a red star, loses about one solar mass every 10,000 years as material is ejected unevenly from the star in all directions, resulting in a nebula surrounding the red star. The nebula surrounding Betelgeuse is roughly 30 astronomical units, AU, 30 times the distance between the Sun and Earth, and is 250 times larger than the star itself at its center. A star's hydrogen atoms fuse together under the influence of gravity, producing helium in a nuclear explosion. Heat and light are two forms of energy that are often released in abundance during the fusion process. This vitality makes its way to the surface of the star, where it is eventually discharged as a photon into the cosmos. Eventually, the star will run out of its primary fuel, hydrogen, and will have to rely on helium and carbon for combustion. When all the helium has been consumed, neon will react with carbon to produce iron. When this occurs, the energy released by the fusion of neon and iron is absorbed. As iron begins to burn within the star, its high gravity causes it to collapse in on itself, triggering a supernova explosion powering 10 billion suns. A supernova is one of nature's most powerful explosions. Depending on their age and evolutionary stage, stars emit light of varying wavelengths and temperatures, resulting in a spectrum of colors, from the blue of the youngest star to the red of the oldest. According to TMY, a Greek scholar who lived from 90 to 168 AD, Betelgeuse's color was oddly described as ruddiness. However, ancient Chinese astronomers noted that Betelgeuse appeared yellow, suggesting that it may have been a yellow supergiant in the past.